When slides are visible now, I'm moving forward, backward.
Yeah, it's visible.
Now it is second slide now, ma'am. Data texting. Slides are moving upward and downward.
Welcome back to the another project presentation by 360DigiTMG. Today project title is Investment Analytics in Gold Bond versus Corporate Bonds using Tableau. I'm handovering to Ram to continue this project.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Ram Chaudhary. Welcome back to another project presentation session by 360DigiTMG. I'm going to present the presentation on investment analytics. The topic is gold bond versus corporate bonds by using Tableau visualization. Before going to further, I would like to extend my thanks to InnoDataTix Director Sharad Manikonda and SP Pavani, who is my mentor of this project, and special thanks to her due to her support throughout this project. Now I would like to introduce my team members, Prashant, Avinash, and myself, RVB Ram Chaudhary. These are the three members who involved in this project thoroughly and put impeccable effects throughout this project. Now I would like to introduce the project overview and the scope of this project. The project aims to address the investors to choose the investment in gold bonds versus corporate bonds, to help the people to invest in bonds according to the future trend. Scope of this project is assessing the bonds over the years to forecast the trend in future years. Now I would like to introduce the project goals. The objectives of the project is the comparison of gold bonds versus corporate bonds is the objective, main objective, and the forecasting the data and to suggest the customers to where to invest their money. The constraints of this project is the collection of data and the output comparison using different attributes. Now the technical stacks of the project is Python, Tableau, and CSV. Python is a technical stack used in this for data cleansing and exploratory data analysis purpose. Tableau is an American interactive data visualization software, and CSV is the comma separated value. It allows data to be saved in table format and structure. Now I would like to go to data collection. Data collection method in this we use this secondary. We know that we have two types of data collection methods. One is primary and secondary. In this project, we used this secondary data collection method. Data had 13 columns initially for gold bonds and 7 columns for corporate bonds. Data used for training the model is genuine, best known to our knowledge, collected from websites like SEBI and NSE websites. The missing data values we found in the data, so that we used mean imputation for getting the missing values. The data dictionary of this project is the attributes in the gold bonds are open price, high price, low price, close price, WAP means weighted averaged price, number of shares, number of trades, total turnover is the final attribute of this gold bonds data, the deliverable quantity, the percent deliverable quantity to traded quantity, spread high, low, spread close, open. The attributes used in corporate bonds are open, high, low, close, adjacent close, and the volume. The total turnover and volume are considered as outputs respectively for gold bonds and corporate bonds. Means the total turnover is the output for the gold bonds, then the volume is the output for the final output for the corporate bonds. These are the two main attributes we use it to predict and forecasting the data. Here For simplification purpose, we used GB for gold bonds and CB for corporate bonds. In short, in data visualization shorts, I can mention the GB and CB only. You can assume that GB means gold bonds and you can assume that CB means corporate bonds. Visualizations using Tableau. Tableau is a leading data visualization tool used for data analysis and business intelligence. Gartner's Magic Quadrant classified Tableau as a leader for analytics and business intelligence. It provides quick, interactive, and beautiful visualizations through dashboards and stories. Tableau does not require coding. Data visualizations give us a clear idea of what the data means by giving it in visual context through maps or graphs. It is easier to identify trends, patterns, etc. within large data sets. Show connections within data that are too complex to explain with words. The next slide. From this onwards, I am going to hand over to my teammate Avinash. Now onwards, Avinash will continue.
Yeah. Thank you, Ram Chaudhary.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Avinash Kumar. I am here today to talk to you about the visualization part of this project with the help of Tableau software. The most important thing will be covered in this session only. Now you can see that bar graph. This is a bar graph showing the volume in a different year from 2017 to 2021 against corporate bond and turnover versus year from 2016 to 2021 respectively. The volume of corporate bond showing upward trade and the turnover of gold bond in the downward trade up to 2018 and increase very slightly. And with the help of bar graph, you can see that. Move to the next slide. Now you can see the pie chart. Pie chart showing the portion on each year-wise data in corporate bond 2021 occupied the major share in market, whereas in gold bond 2016 occupied major share respectively. There is a clear domination in market by the corporate bond from 2017 to 2021. In 2018, the volume of corporate bond are 36 lakhs 42,200 only. In 2019, the volume increased up to 1 crore 2 lakhs 25,350 only. In 2020, the volume of the corporate bonds are 2 crores 80 lakhs 86,050. In 2021, the volume this data reach up to 5 crores 86 lakhs and 87,450 only. While coming to the gold bond in 2016, the turnover of the gold bond was 6 crore 76 lakhs 41,220 rupees. The turnover of gold in 2017 is 2 crore 11 lakhs and 98,785 rupees. The turnover of gold bond in 2018 is 36 lakhs 96,604 rupees. The turnover of gold bond in 2019 is 75 lakhs and 38,229 rupees. The turnover of gold bond in 2020 is 1 crore 39 lakh and 32,209 rupees. The turnover of the gold bond in 2021 is 1 crore 88 lakh 14,647 rupees. Now move to the next slide. An area chart. Area chart is a line chart where the area between the line and the axis is shaded with the colors. And area chart are typically used to represent the total over time and are the conventional way to display the sketches line. Move to the next slide. And with the help of a text table, you can see that the larger rectangle show the larger rectangle show the more share, and a smaller rectangle show the less share. And you can see that in corporate bond 2021 has a larger rectangle, it show the more share in it. And in gold bond you can see that in 2016 large rectangle, and in 2020 there is slightly increase. Move to the next slide. Tree map. Tree map in Tableau is a basic chart type that is represented by nested rectangle box. This chart can be useful for the large data set for visualization. Tree map is the graph that can mark the hierarchical data for the comparative analysis. Move to the next slide. Forecasting model of the corporate bond. Corporate bond showing clearly upward trade data in yearly basis. Move to the next slide. And corporate bond showing clearly upward trade in quarterly basis. Corporate bond showing clearly upward trade in monthly basis too. And in this graph, you can see that how market open and close, and it in year-wise data. Move to the next slide. And similarly for the quarter-wise data, you can see in corporate bond. And similarly for the month-wise data, you can see in corporate bond. And in gold bond are showing a clear trend. There is a decreasing trend from 2016 to 2018, and their onward increasing trends started till not reach its maximum. Gold bond are not showing a clear trend. There is a fall and little upward trend on quarterly basis. Gold bond are not showing a clear trend. There is a fluctuated on the monthly basis. Forecasting on the basis of the open price and close price on year basis. Move to the next slide. And for quarter-wise basis, on quarter-wise basis and month-date basis. Now Prashant will handle over this and finish it up to end.
Thank you, Avinash and Ram, for the representation of that. And just we know that all the inferences of every project will the purpose of that depends on the conclusion. So we need to understand that what is the corporate bonds, what is the gold bonds, and which is the better for the investor. As well, we are including your market. So the clarification is that which is the better for the investment for the future purpose. So that's the final inferences of our project, that which are the good bonds to invest in. So further moving that, corporate bonds are performing with an increased order year by year, and gold bonds are performing in an inconsistent manner. So there is no constant trend in gold bonds. The list of share which sold in 2017 against corporate bonds. In 2019, the volume of the share reached to 10 million in corporate bonds. In 2020, the volume of the corporate bonds reached to nearly 30 million. In 2021, the volume of corporate bonds reached approximately 60 million. As see the year over the year, we can say that the corporate bonds which reached in 2021 to the 60 million, as over gold bonds only reached to the 68 million. In 2016, turnover of the gold bond is nearly 68 million, as earlier said, and 2018, the turnover of the gold bond reached its minimum. In 2016, its gold bond is the highest side, and that a variation drop for the gold bonds over in 2 years, it will be minimizing to the gold bonds value. So further moving, please change the slides. In 2019, the turnover of the gold bond increased little higher, and 2021, the turnover of the gold bonds is 16 million. There is a huge gap from the 2016 to 2021.
that is the turnover of the gold bond decreases from 68 millions to 18 millions. There is change of the 50 million, that we can clearly find out that the gold bonds is not performing well over the years, and it will be continuously decreasing from its initial values. Gold bonds tend towards in the negative manner, whereas corporate bonds are showing increasingly manner from the initial years, and that data is taken from year 2017. Corporate bonds are giving good yields to customer who purchase, because the performance of the corporate bonds of each sector from each company is doing well as compared to the gold bonds. Next slides. The future scope of that gold bonds and corporate bonds. The future scope of this project is to study the comparison of corporate bonds against the gold bonds to predict the profit of the bonds over the years. So many years to explore in future to predict the outcomes of the both bonds, that is both corporate bonds and gold bonds. Gold bonds have an excellent profit where devastating event happen in the world like wars, countries, pandemic conditions, and recession time. So all the events, what's happening in the world, is directly affecting on the gold bonds value. In tough time, investors are considering gold bonds well-known safe investment. But whereas if we compare with the corporate bonds are affected by the pest condition. Pest means political, economical, social, and technological. That's the affecting properties for the corporate bonds. And whereas the gold bonds are directly depend on the world actions. Next slide. So the conclusion of this project, that we clearly mention and we visualize that what is the perfection to investing the bonds, which is corporate or gold bonds. The aim of this project is to compare corporate bonds with gold bonds. This study helps to choose the investor to invest in the corporate bond over the gold bond. It is clearly evident that corporate bonds are nearly winner. There is increasing trend in corporate bonds and decreasing trend in the gold bonds. As if we conclude that and seen that over the years, the variation of corporate bonds is increasingly higher year by year, whereas gold bonds decreasing in low frequency and variation wise. So conclusion for this project is the investors who are investing their value of money and time in the bonds, for them the corporate bonds are higher profitable yield against gold bonds. That is the conclusion of our project. Yes, and if any questions arise, please tell us, we can solve them. So is there any questions from the viewers? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Thank you everyone. Have a good day. Good night.
Thank you all.